Welcome to episode 91 of Norse Myths, Legends, and Folktales. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and today we continue the Saga of Thorstein and learn how Skate loses his kingdom for a short period of time to Ogatun and becomes his treachery later helps Jokul, son of Njorf, get a wife in chapters 17 and 18 of Viking Son. Chapter 17. A king named Skate, a son of Eric, who again was a son of Mindel Might-Ofson. Skate was a king of Sogn, and with his queen he had 2 children, a son named Bele, who was a very excellent man, and a daughter who was called Ingeborg. At this time she was not in the kingdom, having been spellbound and thus removed from the country. Skate had been a berserk and a very great Viking had he forced his way into the throne of Sogn. There was a man named Throgrim, who had to defend the realm against the invasion of foes. He was a great champion and a warlike man, but not over faithful. Between Throgrim and the king's son Bele there was a warm friendship. Bele was a great celebrity throughout all lands. It happened after King Skate had grown very old, both his children still being young, that 2 Vikings, one named Gautum and the other named Ogautan, had landed in his country. They had taken the king by surprise and offered him 2 conditions, either a fight, a battle with them, or give up his land and become a Jarl under them. King Skate thought he had no troops to meet with them, would rather die with honor than live with shame. He would rather fall in his kingdom than serve his foes. He thereafter went to battle, having no other troops than his courtiers. Throgrim escaped with the king's son Bele, but Ingeborg remained at home in her bower. In the combat with Ogatun, King Skate fell with honor, but those of his men who escaped death in the battle fled to the woods. Now Ogatun took the kingdom into his charge, and he had the title of king given to himself. He asked Ingeborg to become his wife, but she flatly refused, saying, "I would rather kill myself than marry the bane of my father, and such a villain too. As for you, Ogatun," she said, "you are more like the devil himself than like a man." At this, Ogatun grew angry and said, "I shall reward you for your foul language, and I hereby enchant you, so that you shall get the same stature and looks as my sister Skellinefja, and the same nature also as she, as far as you may be capable of assuming it, and spellbound you shall inhabit that cave which is on the deep river, and you shall never escape out of this enchanted state, until some man of noble birth is willing to have you and pledges himself to marry you. Still, you can never escape until I am dead, but my sister shall wear your looks." Said Ingeborg, "I cause you to be so enchanted that you shall keep this kingdom only for a short time, and never have any good of your reign." The spells pronounced by Ogatun proved true, and Ingeborg disappeared. Soon afterward the king's son Bele came thither again, together with Throgrim and many other men. That night they set fire to the upper story of the house in which the 2 brothers slept, and burnt it up, together with the people who lived in it, except the brothers who escaped through an underground passage and fled, without not stopping until they came to the court of King Njorf. Bele took possession of his country again, and Throgrim remained in his former position as warder of the king's land. Chapter 18. A king named William ruled over Valland. He was a wise man and blessed with many friends. He had a daughter who named Olaf, and was a woman of great culture. Now it is to be told that Jokul, Njorf's son, after the departure of the Sus of Viking, made Thorstein and Thor outlaws in every place within the boundaries of his kingdom. King Njorf did not consent to it, for he and Viking kept their friendship during their whole life. Once Ogatun had a talk with Jokul and asked him if he would not like to get married. Jokul asked him where he saw a match for him. Answered Ogatun, "William of Valland has a daughter named Oluf, and I think a marriage with her would add to your honor." Said Jokul, "Why not then make up our minds as to the subject?" So they bussed themselves for the voyage, and together with 60 men they sailed for Valland. Here they paid a visit to King Wilhelm, who received Jokul very heartily, for his father Njorf was well known throughout all lands. Now Jokul asked for Oluf in marriage, and Ogatun pleaded with the king in his behalf, but the latter appealed to his daughter. Straightway after this conversation, 30 very brave-looking men entered the hall. The one who went before them was the tallest and fairest, and he went up to the king and greeted him. As soon as Ogatun saw these men, his voice fell, his beard sunk, and he begged Jokul and his other men not to mention his name so long as they stayed in that land. The king asked the stately men who they were, and the chief called himself Bele, and said he was the son of Skate, the king who was the ruler of Sogn. "My errand hither," he added, "is to woo your daughter." The king made answer, "Jokul, the son of Njorf, came here before you on the same errand. Now I will settle the matter in this way, that she will choose herself which one of the 2 wooers she will have." Then the king placed Bele on one side of himself, and there was a great banquet. After 3 nights they took a walk to the bower of the princess, asking her which one of the 2 wooers, Jokul or Bele, she would marry. And it soon appeared that she would rather marry Bele, but at that moment Ogatun threw a round piece of wood into her lap, whereby her nature was suddenly changed to such an extent that she refused Bele and married Jokul. Bele returned to his ship. Jokul and Bele had formerly been on good terms, so that some people say that Bele had got a reward for killing Thorstein and Thor. Bele did not blame Jokul, even though the daughter of the king declined to marry him, for the matter depended upon her decision. Thereupon Bele went home to his kingdom. After the wedding, Jokul also returned homeward, accompanied by Ogatun. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales. Many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey.